The Connecticut Society Room, this is a special STN Channel 2 Election Night Wrap with Ben Wilcox and Alex Katz.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Ben Wilcox alongside Alex Katz here at the Connecticut Society Room in downtown Hartford, where Dan Malloy just proclaimed himself the winner of the Connecticut gubernatorial race. However, Tom Foley also said in his race down in Greenwich that it was too close to call and that both camps are still waiting to see quite who's won this race. But Dan Malloy and Tom Foley both said it was too close to call, but Dan Malloy seemed very confident when he just spoke to supporters here at the Society Room. Now, while most of the country saw Republicans, a strong support for Republicans tonight, Connecticut was different, Alex Katz. They saw a lot of support for Democrats.
Well, you know, Connecticut is a very reliable state. It's very reliably Democrat. There's a large portion of it is registered Democrats. And so with the high turnout that they experienced today, I was at the polls earlier today, and a number of polls had 50% turnout already at about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So with such a high turnout, it should be expected that it should be a Democrat win. What is interesting to me is how the senatorial race was called very quickly with Blumenthal and McMahon, and Blumenthal was called very early on as the winner. And I believe he won by a very strong margin. And the same voters that voted Blumenthal in with such a strong margin, we are currently at a too close to call area right now, where I believe the current numbers show Tom Foley with a lead of 51% to about 47% to Dan Malloy, which we all know is most likely to change according to Dan Malloy. So it's very interesting how the reliably Democrat state reliably voted in a Democrat senator, but is unsure whether it's going to vote in a reliably Democrat governor.
It's also important to point out, while a lot of the country saw Republicans taking seats away from Democrats, New England stayed pretty blue. In Rhode Island, I know a state representative, Patrick Kennedy's seat went to a Democrat. Governor Patrick in Massachusetts, he's a Democrat. He won re-election, as well as the Democrat Barney Frank. So all around New England, the Democrats held pretty strong, but you don't think that's the pulse of the country right now?
Well, no. No, I don't. New England is very blue. New England, I'm learning, I'm not from New England, but I'm learning that New England likes tradition. It likes what it has. And it's always been Democratic, and it's going to, I would be shocked if tomorrow I woke up and it wasn't Democrat. But, you know, there has been a lot of voter anger, voter frustration, voter enthusiasm leading towards the Republicans. And so the large gains that they have received in the House are expected. Is it a surprise that they kept their seat here in Connecticut in the lower district, where it's the border of New York and around the Greenwich area, where there's a large portion of Republicans? Maybe, maybe not. It all depends on how many people turned out, which I guess the high voter turnout in Connecticut, again, favor the Democrats. But New England is New England, and so the gains that they earned in Democrats and the incumbents that stayed are not a surprise, just as it is not a surprise that the Republicans made very, very large gains throughout the country.
Yeah, and it's very important to point out that Republicans did take back the House. That's what we're hearing here in Hartford. And one of the reasons we're here so late right now is down in Bridgeport, they only ordered 21,000 ballots when they were supposed to order 69,000 ballots. So the Secretary of State went to court late tonight and got an injunction to extend voting until 10 o'clock, and that's what kept us here a little bit late. But that's all we have for a wrap-up for now. For Alex Katz, I'm Ben Wilcox. Thanks for joining us and tuning in to STN Channel 2.